the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Tonight, we close out Week 7 together with a good Monday night matchup. As it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gautin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they're second and 8. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He's on his way. So this is something we didn't see from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. First down, here's White. They'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Ball start. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Now after the false start, here's second and 7. They stay on the ground with White. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And his kick is good. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game, and they make it hurt a little 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped by the line of scrimmage. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. The Ravens at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It's a gain of 34.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Running from the gun. The 16. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Jackson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Ravens are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Play action. It's Jackson. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Back to the ground now. Taylor. Take it into the end zone for the Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry with a milestone career touchdown number 100. Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list. And the Ravens are able to answer the early 3 points in 3rd and long. To throw, Mayfield. Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
And the Ravens taking the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. A first down carry for Henry. That's a strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 36 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. They keep it with Henry on first down. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, you have to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. And a design QB run in that spot, maybe trying to catch the defense off guard a bit in forthcoming. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Pressure comes and down he goes. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. But he continues.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he's able to get out to the 32, right down there.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Stays on his feet. And a run past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Henry up the middle. And he's got it to about the 40.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. The offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Jackson. And the throw will be incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And this is gone from 57 yards out. Those bombs away right there. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field here. A little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Play fake. Mayfield. Going across the formation, there's Hutton with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
On 1st down, Irvin. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw complete to Hutton. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 36. A gain there of 21 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with White, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Brandon Stevens there on the tackle from the 34-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Mayfield down. This is White on the screen. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down. Now a handoff up the middle. Irving down to about the 23.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
The defense has been on the field a long time now. After a run like that, they've got to feel like they're almost on roller skates and getting pushed backwards on just about every snap.
Mayfield on play action. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And this one is right through. And that'll bring it back within 4. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call, opting not to go for this drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard, and here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On the counter, it's Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And even 100 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. They're going to use timeouts. What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to fly. Having a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They go play action now. Jackson able to locate Andrews here on the out route. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore.
Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Airing this one out for Evans. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown. Mike Evans. 75 yards. And the Buccaneers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So a big play coming now for the Bucs as they'll go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. Here with a 1st and 20. Here's Jackson to throw. He'll get this to Flowers, left side. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because you're trying to hold momentum. He's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side. And all of a sudden, you got a ball on the hands.
And he will have the Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of the 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Only able to gain a couple there. And that will bring up 2nd down. They go play action with Jackson. Pressure too much. Down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys as they bury him for a big 9 So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely, and no matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. The throw over the middle, taken in. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The 2nd down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Early down steps to put this offense in a precarious position. We know the security point of attack, especially against the big body guys in the middle of this team, has got to be priority 1.
He's got his target. That's complete. All the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just
no gain. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Kyle Van Noy able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. Mayfield. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Right now, really hoping for a turnover. 113 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no.
And touchdown, Baltimore. Derrick Henry, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back. Mayfield on 1st down. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
This ball complete to Trey Palmer. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down that's knocked away and incomplete. On third down, Mayfield. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Bucs try it on fourth down, but come up empty. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Henry on first down, not finding much running room as he pushes forward for a yard or 2 at most. This is 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the Bucs' 35-yard line.
Again, it's Henry. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. First down, here's Mitchell. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
On third down, Henry. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad.
Feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On second down, Mayfield again. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And there's a short one taken in by Otten. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't matter. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Baltimore, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.